Hello, today I'll discuss the rest of the part of the midbrain. In the previous video, I'll discuss regarding the structures present in the substantia nigra and the crus cerebri. And in the previous lecture, I already told you the structures present in the substantia nigra and the crus cerebri are the same throughout the length, which we have already discussed. But the structures present in the tectum and the tegmentum are different at the different level of the midbrain. Okay, so to study the structures present in the tectum and the tegmentum, we cut the transverse section of the midbrain at two levels, one at the inferior colliculus level and one at the superior colliculus level. Okay, first we discuss about the structures present at the level of the inferior colliculus level. If we cut the transverse section of the midbrain at the level of the inferior colliculus. As in the previous lecture, I already told you the midbrain have four colliculus, two upper one superior colliculus, two lower one known as the inferior colliculus. We cut the section at the inferior colliculus and one at the superior colliculus. First we discuss about the section at the inferior colliculus. Okay, so in this figure we will find the structures present in the grey matter as well as in the white matter. This is the central duct known as the cerebral aqueduct of Sylvius. This is small tiny canal. Okay, this is small tiny canal is okay. As you see here, around this tiny canal you will find the central grey matter, and in the central grey matter around the cerebral aqueduct we will find two nucleus. On the lateral edge of the central grey matter, as you see here, this is the mesencephalic nucleus of trigeminal nerve, fifth nerve का mesencephalic nucleus, which will carry the proprioceptive sensations from the muscles of mastications, teeth, ocular muscles and the facial muscles. The second nucleus which is present in this central grey matter, in the floor of the central grey matter you will find, as you see here in the median plane, most important structure, fourth nerve nucleus, trochlear nerve nucleus. So this is the second important structures present in the central grey matter. So the nerve fibers from the fourth nerve, they will emerge out from the nucleus and they emerge out posterolaterally around the central grey matter and they leave the midbrain by passing beneath the inferior colliculus. Both the fibers of the trochlear nerve, as you see here, they decussate in the superior medullary vellum and they wind round the midbrain on the lateral aspect. Okay, on the lateral aspect. Okay. Then in the grey matter, one important structures are also present. Ovoid mass just beneath the inferior colliculus is the inferior colliculus nucleus. Okay, it's a oval grey matter substance which is present in the inferior colliculus level. Already discussed about the inferior colliculus. This inferior colliculus acts as a subcortical center for the auditory radiation, auditory reflex, and this inferior colliculus is connected to the, this is the medial geniculate body. This inferior colliculus is connected to the medial geniculate body through the white matter of band known as the inferior brachium, Okay, and in the inferior colliculus there is a termination of the lateral lemniscus tract, which we'll discuss later on. And in the white matter, in the tectum and the tegmentum, what you will see one most important structure is known as the decussation of the superior cerebellar peduncle. It is the most important structure present at the level of the inferior colliculus decussation of the superior cerebellar peduncle. Number 1. Okay. Then other structures present in the white matter are, as you see here, 4 lemniscus. They are present in the tegmentum in a curved manner from medial to lateral. They are, number 1, most medial one is the medial lemniscus. Then lateral to that is a trigeminal lemniscus. Then third lemniscus is a spinal lemniscus, and most lateral one is the lateral lemniscus. So you will find 4 lemniscus at the level of the inferior colliculus. This lateral lemniscus will terminate in the inferior colliculus and carry this lemniscus carry they all are the ascending tracts. They all are ascending tracts which will ascend upward and reach to the thalamus, except the lateral lemniscus. Lateral lemniscus will terminate at the level of the inferior colliculus and it carry the auditory sensations for hearing. Okay, they will terminate in this, and rest of the 3 lemniscus they will proceed cranially towards the thalamus. Apart from that, you will find in the tegmentum, in the white matter, as you see here on the ventral aspect of the trochlear nerve nucleus, medial longitudinal bundle. Ventral to that, you will find one more tract in the white matter, tectospinal tract, and one more tract which is situated, as you see here, ventral to the decussation of superior cerebellar peduncle is rubrospinal tract. Okay. So these are the structures you will see at the level of the inferior colliculus. In the white matter, again I will discuss most important structure what you will find at the decussation of the superior cerebellar peduncle, which is placed dorsally to the medial part of the substantia nigra. Okay, this is the most important structure present at this level. Apart from that, you will find the 4 lemniscus in the tegmentum, medial lemniscus, trigeminal, spinal, and lateral lemniscus in the same order. And lateral lemniscus, most important thing, will terminate in the inferior colliculus level and it will carry the auditory reflexes. Apart from that, you will find ventral to the trochlear nerve nucleus, medial longitudinal bundle. Ventral to this is the tectospinal tract, and ventral to the decussation of the superior cerebellar peduncle, you will find the rubrospinal tract. Now we will discuss something more about the inferior colliculus. As already told you, inferior colliculus nucleus, it is a grey matter substance, okay, present beneath the inferior colliculus, and it acts as a subcortical center for auditory reflex, and it is connected to the medial geniculate body through inferior brachium. This is other side inferior colliculus connected to the medial geniculate body through inferior brachium. This is medial geniculate body, this is inferior brachium. Okay, so now we will discuss about the connections of the inferior colliculus. The afferent connection which inferior colliculus receive, it receives the afferents from, number 1, as already told you, lateral lemniscus. It receives the afferent from lateral lemniscus. This lateral lemniscus will terminate in the inferior colliculus level and it will carry the auditory reflexes, auditory signals, which will convey to the medial geniculate body through the inferior brachium, and this medial geniculate body further will convey these signals to the auditory sensory cortex area number 41 and 41 through auditory radiations. Okay, so one efferent signal is lateral lemniscus. The other efferent fibers from which it will receive is the ipsilateral, means same side medial geniculate body. So it receives the signals from the efferent fibers from the same side medial geniculate body through the inferior brachium. Third efferent which will it receive is the contralateral inferior colliculus. This is the contralateral inferior colliculus. So these are the three efferent fibers which it will receive. Again I repeat, it receives the fibers from the lateral lemniscus which will convey the auditory impulses. These auditory impulses will convey to the medial geniculate body through the inferior brachium, and from the medial geniculate body they will convey to the auditory sensory cortex area number 41 and 42 through auditory radiations. Okay, then third one efferent it receives from the contralateral inferior colliculus. Now we come to the efferent. Efferent fibers, this inferior colliculus project the fibers to the number 1 contralateral inferior colliculus. Okay, opposite side inferior colliculus. Then it gives the fibers to the medial geniculate body, through the inferior brachium. Okay, and then to the auditory cortex area. Efferent. Third efferent which it will give is the same side superior colliculus. It will give to the superior colliculus. Okay, so efferent it receives the fibers from the medial geniculate body, it receives the fibers from the lateral lemniscus, same side, and it receives the efferents from the contralateral inferior colliculus. Efferents, what fibers it projects from the inferior colliculus? It projects the fibers to the opposite side inferior colliculus. It projects the fibers to the medial geniculate body, and from the through medial geniculate body it will convey to the auditory sensory cortex area number 41 and 42 through auditory radiations, and it will also convey the fibers to the same side superior colliculus. Okay, now from the superior colliculus the fibers will reach to the motor nuclei of cranial nerve supplying extra ocular muscles and spinal motor neurons in cervical region. With the name of the tract is tectospinal or tectobulbar tract. This tract will explain why there is a turning of the head, neck and eyes towards the source of the sound. I'll explain it again. When we hear some sound, the sound signals will reach through the lateral lemniscus to the same side inferior colliculus. Same side inferior colliculus will send the efferent to the superior colliculus, same side, and from the superior colliculus signal reach to the motor nuclei of the cranial nerve supplying the extraocular muscles, which will supply our eye muscles and the neck muscles, okay, through tectospinal and tectobulbar tract. So when we receive the sound, immediately our eyes through the extraocular muscles and our neck muscles, they will turn toward the source of the sound. This explains this. So this is about the connection of the inferior colliculus. In the next video, we will discuss about the section at the superior colliculus.